It's the weekend. That means we got new metal albums to talk about, and I'm bringing you my top 5. Welcome, metalheads. I'm the host of Heavy Metal Philosophy and writer for Metal Digest, John Barbas. Make sure you stick around to the end of the episode for this week's album art of the week. And before I do the top 5, I always talk about the big releases of the week. So let's jump into that. And it doesn't get much bigger than this. Supposedly the final album from Blue Oyster Cult called Ghost Stories. Now, in my opinion, Black Sabbath is the first metal band, but there's a lot of people that would argue that there were metal bands prior to Black Sabbath. I disagree, so I'll meet those people in the middle and say that Blue Oyster Cult is a proto-metal band, and they were supremely important when it comes to influencing what would eventually become metal. Let me know what you think. Is Blue Oyster Cult metal? I mean, they were on the Heavy Metal soundtrack. And next up, we got a new album from Teeter called Battle Ballads. And I got my hands on this one early. Y'all know what that means. My written review is already published in Metal Digest. Links in the description to all my writings. And what I said in my review for this one is the term Battle Ballads is the perfect title for what this album sounds like. In modern times, when you say the word ballad, you think of like a slow, soft song. That's not technically true. Technically, the word ballad means a song you can dance to, and these are battle ballads. This is tales of war sung with merriment. And we don't normally do EPs on this show. This is an album show, but it's Northlane. We gotta talk about Northlane. Their new EP, Mirror's Edge, progressive metalcore, highly influential. I think y'all dig this one. And speaking of progressive metalcore, there's a new drop from Idola called Eviscerate, and I'm always going to love the word eviscerate when it comes to metal. And now, before we do the top 5, let's get brutal, shall we? There's a new album from Benighted called Ekbom, and I got my hands on this one early too. In my review, I talked about how the music is so good, even though it's brutal death metal, I'd almost call it tech death. That's how good the music is. Coming in at number 5, Last Resistance with Monument of Warfare. This is death metal out of Germany, and I would almost call this mellow death with some of the guitar stuff going on. But the vocals are brutal, and it's got sort of a Bolt Thor groove at times. So you get those soaring guitars, but then also some chugs with the cool drums. I dug it. You will too if you check it out. Coming in at number 4, Heavy Temple with Garden of Heathens. This is psychedelic doom out of North Carolina. And what I really loved about this one is even though it's psychedelic music and it's got that stoner sort of sound to it, it's not about wizards and mushrooms. There's actual depth here. You know, there's a song called Extreme Indifference to Life. There's a song called Jesus Wept. There's a song about missing your home. I really appreciated the complexity of this one. The singer croons so strong. Nice grooves on this one. Check it out. Coming in at number 3, Necrot with Lifeless Birth. Death metal out of California. Once again, I got this one early. My review's up, and I talked about how it's got this filthy, old school death metal sound to it, but an added layer of refinement with the trad metal lead guitars screaming all over the place. Plus, look at this album art. I mean, look at that.
The real question is, what are those?
Coming in at number 2, Elevate, New Horizons Part 2. This is progressive groove metal out of Spain. And this one, I kind of felt some Orbit Culture vibes sometimes. I kind of felt some Gojira vibes sometimes. I kind of felt some Meshuggah vibes at times. And then you get these progressive metal soaring vocals as well as the aggressive vocals. A lot going on here, a lot to chew on. I enjoyed it. You will too if you check it out. And hey, before we do number 1, I just want to tell you something cool. So last week I announced the launch of the merch line. But I did not know that when I partnered with Fourth Wall that there was a feature that they provided. So a few of you have already bought merch, and I very much appreciate that. And Fourth Wall notified me, and I'm able from their mobile app to record a short thank you video personalized to you. I had no idea when I chose Fourth Wall that that was a feature, but it's cool. I really like that. I like that I can see what you got, see what your name is, and talk to you directly and say thank you. I intend to do that for everybody. So if you go to johnbarbas-shop.fourthwall.com, links in the description, you can get some cool merch and a personal thank you from me. Thank you so much. Now let's do number one. Coming in at number one, a Don. Or is it a Don? I'm not sure. Text is on the screen just in case. And as always, every band's Bandcamp will be in the description so that these albums are easy to find. This self-titled black metal out of California blew me away. And y'all know I'm not really a black metal guy so much. So for me to be heaping praise on a black metal record means that it must be really blowing my head off. And I'm not just talking about it. There's multi-layered, brutal vocals on this. Then they don't stop there. Multi-layered guitars too. It's black metal, so it's very extreme. There's melodies going on here and counter melodies and harmonies that some of your favorite metal bands would do. Only Adon really cranks up the extreme. And did I mention I love the guitars? I love the guitars on this one. Really thrilled. You will be too if you check it out. And we're not done yet. We still got Dealer's Choice and the album art of the week. Once again, Dealer's Choice is allowing me to shout out the weird stuff that I found this week. And speaking of weird, this band's name is The Vision Bleak, and the name of the album is Weird Tales. It's one song, 40-something minutes long, and it's broken up into chapters, and it's telling the stories of Lovecraft and several other authors that were in the old school science fiction magazine Weird Tales, which I thought was super cool. And you've got sort of this horror metal sound to the music with goth vocals telling you these creepy Edgar Allan Poe-esque tales. I thought that was pretty cool. Check it out. For this week's album art, I was tempted to go with Castle Rat, Into the Realm, doom metal out of New York for reasons. But I chose Love Sex Machine True because I'm attracted to cosmic horror. And this is a cool representation or allusion to what I think is maybe Cthulhu. I like how it's not obvious. It's not obviously a squid. It just kind of makes you think that. But then you've got the being of light in there, so it's not full-on horror, like maybe some transcendence going on. And then you look at the song titles and you go, oh, this is about aliens probing us. Ooh, maybe it is horror. And before we go, I just want to ask you one more question. How much of the music you listen to is metal? Do you listen to other kind of genres, rock, pop, rap, whatever, or is it only metal? Here recently, I've only been listening to metal, and I asked the question, is that good for me on the latest podcast? Just click right here if you want to catch that. But most importantly, read philosophy, listen to metal. I love you.